The northern mountains did not remember when Xeeona Septhyr had first walked among them, or perhaps they remembered too well and had simply decided he belonged. Snow-lashed ridges and knife-edged passes stretched beneath a sky the colour of old steel. Wind howled through stone corridors like a living thing carrying the scent of ice, pine sap and distant smoke. High above the trade road, where cliffs broke into narrow ledges and jutting spines of rock, a lone figure stood motionless. Xeeona watched. He always watched. From this height, the caravan below looked fragile. Wooden wagons creaking beneath heavy canvas, oxen struggling against the slope, men wrapped in furs and worry. 2 guards walked alongside, hands on spear and sword, eyes scanning the road with the forced confidence of men who knew they were underpaid for the danger they faced. Xeeona knew the type. They always came north thinking the road would be kind. He crouched, boots planted in packed snow, cloak pulled close to his lean frame. The wind tugged at the dark fabric, but he did not fight it. He had learned long ago how to let the mountain move around him instead of against him. His breath was slow, measured, barely visible. He could not remember when he had first learned that trick. In truth, there were many things Xeeona no longer remembered. He did not remember a home, did not remember a mother's voice, or a father's face, if there had ever been one. Did not remember a hearth, or a name spoken with warmth. Only the mountains remained constant. Days blurred into one another here, or weeks, perhaps years. He had stopped counting. The northern passes had a way of stripping time down to something meaningless. You woke when the light came. You slept when exhaustion claimed you. You survived, or you did not, and Xeeona survived. A faint sound carried upward, too faint for the caravan to notice, the crunch of boots where no boots should be. The scrape of stone disturbed by careful hands. His eyes narrowed. Bandits. Not the drunken kind that preyed on lone travellers. These moved with purpose, coordinated, patient. He spotted them one by one as shadows detached from the rocks above the road. Archers taking position along the ridgeline, blades waiting below where the path narrowed and escape became difficult. The 2 guards stiffened. "Did you hear that?" one muttered. "Probably the wind," the other replied, though his voice lacked conviction. Xeeona shifted his weight. The caravan never saw the attack begin. The first arrow never flew. Instead, Xeeona moved. He slid down the ridge in near silence, using stone and shadow as cover. His short sword remained sheathed. Steel was too loud for what came next. When he reached the first archer, the man was already drawing breath to whisper a signal. Xeona's blade flashed once. The archer collapsed without a sound, eyes wide, surprise frozen on his face as life fled him. Xeeona eased the body down, already moving. The second archer turned, just in time to see a shadow where no shadow should be. A hand clamped over his mouth. His short sword slipped between ribs with practiced precision. A sharp exhale. Nothing more. 2 bodies lay hidden among the rocks unnoticed. Below, the trap sprang. 4 bandits surged from cover, shouting as they rushed the road. Steel rang out as the caravan guards tried to form up, panic creeping into their movements. One guard thrust wildly, forcing a bandit back, while the other stumbled under the suddenness of the assault. It was already too late for them. Xeeona leapt. He dropped from the ridge like a falling omen, landing in the centre of the road with a crunch of snow and gravel. His sword was in his hand now, short and unadorned. No runes, no ornamentation. Just well-balanced steel, worn smooth by use. The bandits froze for half a heartbeat. Then Xeeona smiled. It was not a kind smile. It was sharp, dangerous, alive. The grin never appeared at any other time. He moved like a storm unchained. The first bandit barely raised his axe before Xeeona closed the distance, blade slicing across the man's throat in a single efficient arc. Blood steamed in the cold air as the body collapsed. The second lunged, screaming. Xeeona stepped inside the swing, shoulder checking the man hard enough to shatter balance, then drove the sword up beneath the ribs. The scream died into a wet gasp. The third tried to flee. Xeeona did not chase. He pivoted, flicking the blade outward. Steel bit deep into the bandit's spine, dropping him face first into the snow. The fourth hesitated. Fear finally won. Xeona's grin widened. They clashed in a blur of motion, steel on steel, boots slipping on frozen ground. The bandit fought desperately, wildly, but desperation was not enough. Xeeona disarmed him with a twist of the wrist, then ended the fight with a clean strike to the heart. Silence fell. The entire skirmish had lasted only moments. The caravan guard stood frozen, weapons half raised, breathing hard. One of them finally looked down at his shaking hands, then back at the bodies littering the road. "What in the hells?" he whispered. Xeeona did not look at them. The grin faded from his face as quickly as it had appeared, leaving behind a mask of calm detachment. He scanned the ridges once more, eyes sharp, listening for any sound that did not belong. Satisfied that the danger had passed, he wiped his blade clean on the snow and slid it back into its sheath. The guards found their courage at last. "Wait," one called. You saved us. At least take..." Xeeona was already walking away. He did not take coin, did not take thanks, did not even turn his head. By the time the guard reached the edge of the road, there was only drifting snow and the whisper of wind where the stranger had been. Later, in warm inns far to the south, merchants would speak of it in hushed tones. A shadow in the mountains, a blade that came from nowhere, a man who smiled only when he fought. And Xeeona Septhyr would continue walking the high passes, alone, forgotten and remembered only in rumour, long before fate decided that solitude was no longer enough.